I confessed to the girl I've loved since ninth grade. 6 hours later, she still hasn't opened it. Now every minute feels like a funeral. It's been 6 hours and 17 minutes since I sent the message and I haven't unlocked my phone once. Not to check. Not to look. Not to let myself see the tiny bubble of silence sitting at the top of the screen like a noose. I know it's there. The unread message. The ghost of a confession floating in that quiet little box. Hey, I just wanted to say. I really like you. I've liked you for a while. I even added a smiley. Why did I add a smiley? I can still hear the little whoosh of it sending. That stupid default tone that makes everything feel way more casual than it actually is. Like I just sent her a meme. Like I didn't just hand her the entire beating heart I've been carving into my chest since ninth grade. The message is still unopened. And every minute that passes, I feel like I'm being slowly buried alive under layers of my own thoughts. You ever spend years building up a moment? Constructing it from scraps of maybe and what if and stolen glances across a band room full of brass and barely held in sweat? That's what this is. We met in freshman math. Not the cute kind of math either. Geometry. The class where you realize the universe hates symmetry as much as you do. We sat next to each other because we were the only ones who didn't already have desk partners. She smelled like eucalyptus and pencil shavings. She was always chewing gum but never rude about it. She'd offer me half the time. I'd say no. Every time. I don't even remember why. I didn't notice her right away. Not like that. I mean, she was pretty, always had the kinda tired, dreamy look like she stayed up too late thinking about real things. But I didn't feel it until halfway through the year. That day her hoodie sleeve caught on the edge of her notebook and it yanked the whole thing off her desk. Pages scattered everywhere. And when I helped her pick them up, I saw this tiny drawing of a tent in a forest. Little smoke lines curling up from the top. Stars scribbled all over the page. You like camping? I asked. And she looked at me like I just asked if she liked breathing. That was the first time we really talked. Turns out we both loved the woods. The quiet kind. She had a playlist for campfires. I had one for hikes. We argued over which national park was the most underrated. That conversation spun out for a whole week, each class a new point in the debate. I started arriving early just to catch her in that 3-minute window before the bell. Then she got a boyfriend. And all that smoke we'd built between us just vanished. She still said hi. Still asked to borrow my charger sometimes. But it changed. You could feel it. She wasn't trying to hide it either, she was always texting him, giggling at things she wouldn't explain. I'd pretend to be okay. I'd even laugh at her jokes, nod when she showed me some picture of them at the pumpkin patch or whatever. Inside, I felt like I'd been hit with a rake. So I did what I always do. I shut up, faked my way through it, folded my feelings into origami and shoved them into the bottom drawer of my brain. She drifted into the background again, and I went back to being the kid with too many thoughts and not enough muscle to carry them. Then last semester, everything changed again. They broke up. I don't know why. People talk, but no one says anything real. Some people say he cheated. Others say she dumped him because he was too clingy. I don't care. All I know is she stopped smiling in the hallways. Stopped wearing makeup for a while. Started walking slower between classes like the air got heavier. And I couldn't stop looking at her. She didn't look fragile. She looked real. Like she'd gone through something and made it out the other side, sharper. Sadder. But deeper. She sat 3 seats away in bio and I caught myself watching her more than I should have. Not in a creepy way, I just wanted to see her laugh again. And I started to hope. It was dumb. I knew it was dumb. I'm not her type. She's skinny in that cool, effortless way where every hoodie looks oversized. I'm the opposite. I've got broad shoulders and a stomach I try to hide under hoodies that actually fit. I've never been kissed. Never even been flirted with on purpose. Most of the girls in our grade talk to me like I'm their brother or their lab partner or their last resort when someone's out sick. But she never treated me like that. Even when we weren't talking much, she always looked me in the eye. Said my name like it mattered. So I started dreaming again. It was stupid stuff. Imagining us hiking that state park near the lake. Me making her laugh by pretending to get scared of raccoons. Us sitting in a hammock sharing one of those ugly thermos mugs full of cocoa. I kept telling myself not to text her. Not to ruin what little we had left. But the dreams kept stacking. And eventually it got too loud in my head. So I wrote the message. I kept it simple. No big confessions. Just a truth I'd been holding for way too long. Hey, I've liked you since freshman year. I don't know if you'd ever want to hang out sometime, maybe just us. But if you don't feel the same, it's totally fine. I just wanted you to know. Sent at 6:12 p.m. It's 12:29 a.m. now. Still nothing. And I don't know if I'll ever sleep again. Update, she left me on read. I wasn't going to look. I swore to myself I wouldn't check my phone until the next day. I even made it to lunch before the curiosity started scraping its nails down my spine. But by 6th period, my stomach was twisted into this weird knot of nausea and dread and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I checked. She read it. Not even 5 minutes after I sent it. That was 6 hours of me pacing my room, whispering every worst-case scenario to myself while she saw it, blinked, and did nothing. I didn't even get a hey. Not even a pity emoji. Just that tiny, soul-eating notification scene. And here's the messed up part, my first instinct wasn't heartbreak. It was shame. Like I'd just shown her something dirty and personal and she backed away like it smelled bad. Like I'd unzipped my chest and said, "Here, hold this," and she left it sitting there, bleeding in her inbox. I skipped dinner. I didn't want to sit at the table pretending to laugh at my stepdad's microwave steak jokes while the only thought running through my head was, what the hell did I just do? I don't even know what I expected. Part of me thought maybe she'd say, "I was hoping you'd say that." Or at the very least, "Thanks for telling me." Some kind of response that would soften the blow. Give me back some version of myself. But this silence? It feels like being erased in real time. And now it's worse. Because she hasn't said anything in person either. We had band class today. She sat 2 rows ahead of me. Same spot. Same worn hoodie with the thumb holes. And I watched her pretend I didn't exist. That's what really stings. She wasn't nervous or awkward. She wasn't trying to avoid eye contact. She was relaxed. Like she'd already decided I wasn't worth the emotional energy. I was just another blip in a long line of awkward dudes trying to get close. Like I was forgettable. I'm not proud of this, but I went through her Instagram right after school. Just to see if she posted anything. Not about me, just anything. A selfie. A quote. A story. Something that would let me pretend she was just busy or overwhelmed or didn't know what to say. Instead, I found her story from last night. She was out with friends. One of those boba shops with neon signs and pastel couches. Someone tagged her. She reposted it. She was smiling. Like full, teeth-out, eye-squinting smiling. And all I could think was she was smiling while I was breaking. I hate how pathetic that sounds. Like some Reddit nice guy stereotype who thinks girls owe them kindness just because they're sad and careful with their feelings. But I'm not mad she didn't like me back. I'm mad she didn't care enough to say anything. Even a no would have been better than this. This limbo. This nothingness. I haven't talked to anyone about it. Not even my best friend. I'm scared he'll say something like, "Told you not to get your hopes up." Or worse, he'll agree she was out of my league. Because I already know that. She's the kind of girl people turn their heads for in the hallway. Not just because she's pretty, though she is, but because she feels cool. Effortless. Like the main character in one of those sad indie movies with the soft guitar soundtrack. And I'm just the extra who holds open the door. You know what the sickest part is? I still like her. Even now. Even after all this. I still daydream about that picnic I never asked her to. About letting her pick the music on the drive out to the lake, even if it's all Taylor Swift or sad girl stuff I secretly like but pretend not to. I still imagine her looking at me like she used to, like she saw something decent. Maybe I should have waited longer to tell her. Maybe I ruined it. Or maybe this is just who I've always been. The background character who mistook kindness for a promise. And now? Now I don't know what to do next. Except wait. And maybe disappear a little. Update 2, she smiled at me today. Like nothing happened. It wasn't even a big smile. Just one of those automatic, polite half smiles people give to classmates when they pass them in the hallway. No malice. No awkward tension. Just effortless indifference. And somehow that felt worse than if she'd laughed in my face. I was walking out of the band room and she turned the corner with her water bottle tucked under her arm. Our eyes met for a second, maybe less, and she smiled. That was it. And I spent the rest of the day trying to figure out what it meant. Because now I don't know if she forgot the message. Or if she's pretending to. Or if I imagined the entire emotional weight of what I said. I stayed up until 3 a.m. rereading the message. Trying to find the part that sounded clingy or weird. But I didn't say anything wrong. I wasn't graphic. I wasn't pushy. It was careful. Respectful. So why did she leave me hanging like I was just static? And why is she smiling now like the whole thing never happened? Unless that's the plan. I kept telling myself I was overthinking. That maybe she was just shy. Maybe she didn't know how to respond. But then today in class I noticed something. When she sat down, she didn't put her phone face up like she normally does. She kept it flipped over. Like she didn't want me to see the screen. Then during our group assignment, I overheard her talking to this other girl, Megan, I think. They weren't talking loud, but I caught a piece of it. He actually texted me. Like, after all this time. I don't know if it was about me, but it felt like it was about me. And then Megan laughed. Not a lot. Just this little chuckle like something harmless but kind of embarrassing had just been said. Like when your friend tells you a corny joke you don't want to be mean about. I sat there staring at my notebook pretending to calculate enzyme reactions while my ears turned red. So now I don't know if she told people. If they're laughing at me in group chats I'll never see. If I'd become that guy. The one who misread everything and made it awkward and now she has to be careful around him. It's wild how quickly your brain can flip the narrative. 1 week ago she was this fantasy I held in my chest like a candle. Now she's this blurry figure at the edge of my thoughts that makes me feel sick whenever she's nearby. I want to talk to her. I want to just ask, why didn't you respond? But I won't. Because if I do, I know how that story ends. I become the villain. The pushy one. The weird guy who can't take a hint. So instead, I've started avoiding her. I moved my seat 1 row back. Started skipping the early band warm-ups so I don't have to be near her in the hallway. I even changed where I sit during lunch just in case she walks past with her friends. It's pathetic. I know it's pathetic. But what else am I supposed to do? You ever have your entire emotional map torn up and then be expected to walk the same routes anyway? That's what this feels like. Like walking through a familiar dream that now makes your teeth itch. And the worst part? She's not being cruel. She's not doing anything wrong. She just stopped seeing me. Like a glitch in her day. And I don't know how to stop feeling like one. Update 3, I stopped waiting for a reply. I started watching instead. Let me explain. I'm not stalking her. Not in the way people mean when they say that. I'm not hiding in bushes or memorizing her class schedule. I just pay attention. I see who she laughs with in the mornings. I know which hoodie she wears when she's tired. I know that she only ties her hair up when she's annoyed and that she chews the inside of her cheek when she's about to lie. I notice things. I noticed she started bringing her old boyfriend's hoodie to school again. Not to wear it, just to stuff it in her backpack like a comfort blanket. Like something she could keep hidden close. And it made me wonder, did she ever really break up with him? Or did I just fall for the space between their arguments? I noticed that her texts got longer. Not to me, obviously, I still haven't heard a word. But during class, when the teacher's not looking, she types like her fingers are racing a secret. I watched her smile at her phone once. Soft, private, dangerous. And I knew it wasn't for me. I also noticed that after I confessed, she started treating me more carefully. Not distant. Not cruel. Just soft. Polite. Like someone inching away from a cracked mirror. And it hit me. She's scared. Not of me. Not really. But of what I represent now. The burden of an unreturned feeling. The inconvenience of being loved by someone she can't use. Because that's the truth, isn't it? People like her, they love attention. But only from people they've already decided are valuable. Charismatic. Hot. Socially approved. Not people like me. She liked me when I was background noise. When I was safe to ignore. Now that I've stepped forward, made myself known, now I'm a problem. So I decided to fix that. I stopped texting her. Obviously. I also stopped looking at her in class. If she sits near me, I shift away. When she walks past, I don't even flinch. And you know what happened? She noticed. She looked at me twice last week. Just glanced like she wasn't sure if she was imagining things. Then yesterday in the band hallway she said hey in that quiet voice people use when they're testing the water for forgiveness. I didn't say anything back. She looked confused. Then a little hurt. And I realized something else. She liked being liked. She didn't want me, but she liked that I wanted her. It fed something in her. Some need to be admired without having to earn it. That ends now. I've started focusing on myself. I'm hitting the gym before school. Nothing crazy. Just something to stop feeling like a sack of excuses. I've been meal prepping. Got new shoes. Bought a jacket that actually fits. People have noticed. My science partner said I looked cleaner lately. Not hotter. Just less invisible. I liked that. I've also been journaling more. Not this. Not Reddit. Just pen and paper. Thoughts I don't want living in the cloud. Some of them are dark. Some of them are about what it would look like if she regretted everything. If she saw me again in a few years, taller, sharper, distant, and realized what she let slip by. And yeah, some of them are about making that happen. Is it healthy? Probably not. But I've stopped caring about healthy. Healthy got me ignored. Healthy got me ghosted like I was a dirty sock someone found under their bed. This new version of me, he gets sh*t done. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm not gonna scream at her or post screenshots or become some walking red flag. But I've started smiling at other girls. And one of them, Becca from my chem lab, smiled back. And it felt real. Not like a dream. Not like some far-off possibility wrapped in apologies. Felt earned. And I'm starting to realize that maybe what I wanted from her wasn't love. Maybe I just wanted acknowledgement. Proof that I existed in someone else's story. And now that I've pulled myself out of hers, I can write something better. But I'm not done watching. Not yet. Because some part of me still wants to see the look on her face when the silence finally starts to sting her the way it stung me. Update 4. She asked me if we were okay. I told her we were. Then I proved we weren't. It happened yesterday. End of 4th period. We were walking out of class at the same time and somehow ended up near each other in the hallway. I could feel her hesitating behind me, her steps slower, like she was trying to decide something. Then she tapped my arm. I turned. Calm. Blank. I don't let her see me flinch anymore. She gave me this nervous smile, the kind people use when they're about to say something they practiced in the mirror. Hey, she said. I've been meaning to ask. Are we okay? She said it like I was the one who drifted. Like she hadn't left me hanging for weeks. Like I was the one who owed her a vibe check. I nodded. Yeah, I said. We're good. Then I walked away. I didn't wait for her response. I didn't give her time to process it. I just left her standing there, blinking, trying to figure out if I meant it. I didn't. But that's the point. See, I realized something over the past few weeks. She doesn't hate me. She just doesn't think about me. And that's worse. Hatred requires energy. Indifference is effortless. So I decided to return the favor. I unfollowed her on Instagram 2 days ago. Quietly. No drama. No post. No note. Just gone. She noticed. You can always tell. The digital shift. The soft recoil in their body language. The way they start glancing around more, unsure why their audience shrank. She saw me talking to Becca at lunch. Becca was laughing, really laughing, at something I said. Her hand brushed mine, and that was the moment I felt it, her stare. Not direct, not obvious, but sharp enough to slice through the crowd. I didn't look back. I started playing a new game. It's called selective memory. If she says hi, I take an extra second to respond. If she walks past, I wait until she's gone before I let my shoulders relax. If she asks a question in class, I don't volunteer an answer. Even when I know it, especially when I know it. It's not about revenge. Not really. It's about balance. She built an entire friendship on a version of me that didn't ask for anything. A shadow with good timing. A safety net with a shy smile. She liked that version of me. She just didn't expect him to have teeth. And now that I've grown them, she doesn't know what to do with me. Becca's not stupid. She knows something's up. She asked me yesterday why I seem tense when that girl from band walks by. I told her the truth. She was important to me. She just didn't know how to hold that. Becca didn't press. She just nodded, and then said, well, that's her loss. And I believed her. But here's the part one didn't say. It's not about loss. It's about weight. She was never meant to carry me. I just needed her to notice I was heavy. Now I let her feel the absence. Like a gap in the seating chart. Like a breath that never came. And I don't know if she misses me. But I do know this. She looked over at me in band today. Once. Just once. Quick, sharp, like she wanted to say something and swallowed it. And in that second, I felt peace. Not joy. Not pride. Just silence. The kind that echoes.